Earlier this week, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo had a breakdown during an interview with NPR reporter Mary Louise Kelly when she asked him questions about Ukraine. He lost it. He took her into a room, yelled at her for 9 minutes, gave her an impromptu geography test, which she apparently passed, and that made him even more mad. And to me, as an outsider, and I think a reasonable person, that's just pathetic. Like, it's intellectually pathetic. Why are you yelling at this reporter? She's asking you very reasonable questions, but that's just for me. For a certain type of guy, him yelling at her for 9 minutes straight and swearing at her, very impressive behavior. Now let's go now to one of those types of guys.
Impressive, Mike. That reporter couldn't have done too good a job on you yesterday, huh? I think you did a good job on her, actually. That's good. Thank you, Mike. Great.
So look, he's praising Pompeo. She didn't do a good job on you. I don't really know what that means. You did a good job on her. He was asked questions which he wilted under. He folded, what do they say, like a flan in the cupboard, and then started yelling at her. Challenged her, gave her this challenge, I bet you can't point out Ukraine on a map, which she then did. Haha, you did a pretty good job on her. What are you talking about?
All it takes is for someone to be outlandish, angry, and lash out. That's a good job for him because he thinks that's showing strength. Instead of actually answering a question, showing intelligence, showing any kind of I guess, readiness to answer questions. I don't feel like this is something that he should have not been prepared for. Even if you're preparing to lie like you usually do, at least prepare to get the question instead of, now we've gotten to the point where I can't lie anymore because I'm looking bad every day. So now the approach is to lambaste, destroy, demean anyone who asks the question and say it's their fault for asking that question. We didn't agree to talk about things that are going on in the country. What are you talking about? But that's how it works. Trump knows that, and he's like, I need to galvanize their resolve behind my lies. So publicly, I have to thank him and congratulate him for doing the worst thing he could do.
Yeah, no, look, the video that we showed had the shot of Mike Pompeo, he's smiling. Everybody's cheering for him in what looks like a crowd of 90% men. Alan Dershowitz pats him on the back at one point to add a little bit more creepiness to it. But really fast, I wanna go to an alternate perspective. This is going to stay, same video, but this is gonna stay on Donald Trump's face. And you know what situation we're talking about, what it represents. I want you to look at the facial expressions of Donald Trump as he goes through this whole speech.
Oh, that's impressive. That was very impressive, Mike. That reporter couldn't have done too good a job on you yesterday, huh? I think you did a good job on her, actually.
How weirdly so happy he is. There was this woman, she asked you tough questions, she came with receipts and you just lost your mind on her. That's strong. You know, I used to fight with my younger brother a lot when we were really young. We'd fight, and I was a year older and a little bit bigger at the point. He's now way bigger, so I don't fight him anymore. But at that point, I was bigger, so we'd fight, and I would win. I was a year older, it would happen. We would fight. 10 minutes later, he'd come back, we'd fight again. I'd win. 10 minutes later, he'd come back, we'd fight again. Until eventually, and this always happened, 3 or 4 fights in a day, he would run and get a knife, and I would run to my bedroom and shut the door. From Trump's point of view, that is a sign of strength, that you lost your mind and escalated things to an insane level. From my point of view, maybe fight better. Don't get the knife.
Go train.
You weirdo.
Figure it out. Right? Yeah,
he's a good guy now, but he tried to knife me.
I totally thought you made that part up.
No, it's totally true. But anyway, that's not what strength is. How have we gotten to this point where men in America, lots of men, but especially on the right, they have no idea what being strong is. And so anything that's big and demonstrative is just assumed to be strong.
It's all an appearance. And again, the one thing I also wondered and noticed with that, after he congratulated Pompeo, he got a standing ovation. And Trump wasn't expecting it. Part of his issue, he's looking around going, wow, you must have done a good job because people are applauding you. Oh my God, you mean a bunch of sycophants are applauding something that you looked bad in doing. So my wonder was, man, he's starting to think, this Pompeo guy is getting a little bit too big here. Because his gauge for anything that's successful is everyone congratulating me? Does everyone love me? And until then, he surrounds himself with people who love him, and then that's what he sees as a success.
I want you to look good, but not too good. For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.